Do I smell a trap game on the horizon? In this video, I'm going to give you a preview of the Atlanta Falcons versus the Carolina Panthers this weekend and tell you what the keys to success and what the Atlanta Falcons must do to ensure this game. Now, to give you a little bit of history and to give you a little bit of statistics previously, the Atlanta Falcons need to take Carolina very seriously. And here's why. Over the last 2 years, the Carolina Panthers has actually split 2-2. They're 500 against the Atlanta Falcons. And that's really not great because Carolina was in a top 5 position in regards to being the terrible team, and they were in top 5 position in regards to drafting. That means they are really not a good squad. And for the Atlanta Falcons to struggle with this team and split, that is not good. For the other 30 teams, Carolina Panthers is an easy dub. For whatever reason, the Atlanta Falcons tend to play these guys 500, but that's neither here nor there. But like I was saying, to recap, in order for the Atlanta Falcons to win, they need to do these 4 things. These 4 things are very important, and please stay tuned to the end of the video to show you how 4 of these things can combine and ensure the Atlanta Falcons win the game. Theme number 1. Well, number 1 thing that the Atlanta Falcons need to do is avoid the trap and take Carolina serious. Now, in regards to trap games, for those who don't know what trap games is, it's essentially a lull game before a bigger game going forward. So teams virtually overlook a certain team because they have a bigger opponent, quote unquote, to play in the future. And so they just don't really prepare or don't really try this game because they know they're going to win that game. In the Atlanta Falcons case, this is a division rival, and this is a team that's beaten them twice in the last 2 years. So we need to take this team very serious because they are capable, for whatever reason, they are capable enough to beat the Atlanta Falcons. So we need to avoid the trap and really prepare like this is a top 5 team in the NFC. Another thing that really scares me about this trap game, quote unquote, is that it is in Carolina. And if you don't know anything about trap games, they're very dangerous, number 1, but they're even more dangerous when you're playing on the road as your team. And for the Atlanta Falcons, they need to be very safe and play this team like they have no tomorrow, because this is a trap game, number 1, and it's even more scary that it's in Carolina. Theme number 2, what the Falcons need to do in order to secure a dub, they need to stop the run for the Carolina Panthers. Chuba Hubbard has been going crazy. He has run for, not he, but I think the Carolina Panthers have rushed for 100 yards in the last 3 games. They're running the rock, and I think they're top 10 in regards to yards per carry and rushing yards. Don't quote me on that second one, but I know they're top 10 in regards to yards per carry, and they're just giving the ball to Chuba, and he's been eating. And to be honest, the game that they've won this year, Chuba Hubbard has gone berserk. So for the Atlanta Falcons, I know their defense is predicated on bend, don't break, but we need to ensure that the run is stopped, because if not, the Atlanta Falcons are going to be in a world of hurt trying to come back on a team that has a pretty decent defense when they're kind of healthy. Third thing that the Atlanta Falcons need to do, they need to get off to a good start. They don't need to play around with this team. It doesn't need to be a 0-0 or 3-3 game at halftime. We need to go out and smash them in the face while we can early, maybe be 14-0, 14-3, so they know, hey, we're not here to play. And if we get ahead, this team, the Carolina Panthers, aren't really built to come back. They're a team that is really built right now to get ahead and then kind of sustain. So if we get ahead on this team, I think we feel a whole lot better, not about the Falcons, but about the whole organization and how we can start and finish strong. Last thing, and I keep saying this theme pretty much in every single game, the Atlanta Falcons cannot turn the ball over this game. If equal possessions, the Atlanta Falcons are a better team. Everybody would say that. Team versus team with the same amount of possessions, the Atlanta Falcons win 9 out of 10. Now, where it gets kind of tricky is if you can continue to give Carolina an extra possession, give them 2 extra possessions. You turn the ball over in your territory and plus territory for them. They have a good enough team in regards to running and offensive line to run the ball and execute when it comes down to if they're on a 10, 20, 30-yard line. So we cannot give them extra possessions, because like I said, this is a team where if you go to sleep, you give them extra possessions, they will run the ball, and they will run the ball very efficiently. And when they can continue to run the ball, they score. And when they score, they beat individuals. Now, those are my 4 things you have to make sure. After looking at all I just said, at the end of the day, we have to avoid the trap and really treat this team like they are the NFC champions, because this is a team, like I said, that is a very good team when they run the ball well and they play with a lead. And we cannot afford to go down to this team in Carolina and Andy Dalton decides to figure it out and just rolls over us, because he is a veteran quarterback who can make plays and who understands scheme and how to beat a team. We cannot let him sit back there with the lead and just start dicing us up, because that is a bad situation for all parties involved. With all this in mind, saying all this, I think the Atlanta Falcons will win. I think it's a 6-point spread right now in Carolina. So that means Vegas thinks we're probably about a 9 or 10-point favorite naturally. And I think we should be able to beat this team by 9 or 10 points. But we have to stick true to our guns. We have to play, and we have to treat this team like they are a legitimate contender in the NFC. And if we do that, I guarantee we will win. But if we don't, we'll be on the other side of the history and and we'll be down in the series over the last 3 years, which is absolutely insane. Coming from this team is really not a good team at all. But if you agree or disagree with me, please leave a comment down below. Let me know. And if you want to see more videos like this, check this one out right here. And like always, peace.